Hey everybody, welcome back, and thanks for being here. Today we're going to look at the now even more vast world of Fortnite with all of the amazing updates that we've had recently. We're going to be looking at LEGO Fortnite, Rocket Racing, and Festival Main Stage, as well as our classic Battle Royale. Now, with our Battle Royale update, we have, of course, a brand new map. We have the mod benches and the addition of the train on our map. So I'm not going to really dive into the train or the map all that much, but I will say I enjoy them and I think that they're a nice addition. What I want to spend my time talking about, however, is the mod stations. The mod stations themselves are a great idea, and I think they're well presented and well designed. However, the way that they were implemented into the map maybe could have been better. My understanding is that there are 10 throughout the map, which is great, but I still think there should have been more, and I don't think they should have been in the vaults. I think they should just be more like the weapon upgrade stations, more in open air. I think it was hyped up a little bit too much to be so difficult to access. Now, with that being said, I really appreciate that we have guns scattered throughout the map with all kinds of different attachment combinations, and you can more or less get pretty close to what you want just by running around and scavenging. So, although it's not the ideal way of getting the guns and attachments you want, it's pretty much what you're going to be doing. At least it's what I'm doing. So that's all I really want to touch on as far as Battle Royale goes. I really want to talk about these main new game modes. So let's dive right into the Festival Main Stage, which, as many of you likely know, is very similar to a Rock Band or Guitar Hero type deal. So once you enter the lobby, you can choose your difficulty, instrument, and song. And you can choose a set list if you choose to do so. Of course, for the purposes of this, we won't be doing that. So diving right into the stage, you'll have this little portal that takes you from this lobby into this lovely arena. And then you'll see this intro is, again, very similar to what you would expect to see in some of those older Rock Band and Guitar Hero games. Your character, will sling their instrument around a little bit, the band is introduced, and then the song begins. Now, unfortunately, I have to keep the vast majority of this muted to keep YouTube happy, so what I am going to do is show you just a small clip with the sound on so you can see how it, correlates sound to the notes on screen and how good of a job they've done of doing that. Okay, I can't honestly imagine I can do much more than that, so what I will say is this is really difficult whether or not you have experience with Guitar Hero, Rock Band, whatever. I was quite the shredder back in the day. I could pretty much play whatever I wanted on Expert as far as Guitar Hero or Rock Band goes, but this had a learning curve trying to play with a controller. Now, great news for those of us that are longtime players. They say that they will be integrating Rock Band controllers into this game and that eventually you will be able to use them. That's going to be amazing. But in the meantime, this is what we have to work with, and I quite like it. I haven't ventured to the expert mode with 5 lanes yet. I'm just not there, but just so you know, that is an option. Now, when you finish, as you can see, I did score 88%, which is pretty good, but I only got 3 stars. The name of the game here is going to be Streaks, and using that star power as much as is possible. I did not do a great job of that, but that's okay. I want to move on now to actually a song with the vocals because I really wanted to exemplify that as well. It is really cool the way that they've managed to translate the vocals into the game as, a button pressing type deal. It's really cool. So there's going to be a moment coming up in this song here where it does a really great job of showing that. So I'm going to step back for a second and let that play. Okay, hopefully I haven't overstayed my welcome on that. But again, really, really cool the way it works, the way it lines up. I think it's really just satisfying to be able to feel like the notes that you're hitting really are correlating to the song. Because that was one of the biggest things in the early Guitar Hero games that was just improved on throughout the generations. And I really think that they nailed it right out of the gate here. So I can't recommend this game mode enough, especially if you get that bug every once in a while to whip out your old PS3 or Xbox 360 or whatever you got to play your old Guitar Hero games. Because, I still do it. And this has kind of been a nice fix for me. And it's nice that they update the songs, I think, every single day now. So that's been great. And again, here you can see 96%, but only 4 stars because I'm just not getting the combos I need to be, the streaks, and using that rock, or they don't call it star power, I don't think. I can't remember what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about. So from here, I want to move on to, unfortunately, my least favorite thing so far, which is the rocket racing. And that's tough coming from me because I'm a huge racing enthusiast, which honestly I think is part of the reason that I don't like this so much. As you can see, in the beginning of this clip, I'm only a bronze 3. I don't play this that much, which really might, play into why I don't like it. But look at this. This is ridiculous. This is normal, where the cars don't load in correctly. It's not even till the very last second that my car is rendered. It screws up the start because it's glitchy. Now, granted, this one wasn't that bad, but it's been a lot worse in the past. And then there's the actual gameplay, and I have to be honest, it's just not for me. Now, that doesn't take away from the actual, the concept of the game they put out. I mean, the game's great. It's fun to play. It looks good. It's pretty smooth. Now, granted, it does have its problems, which we'll come back to, but I can't really find myself enjoying it because the way to win isn't fun for me, which I guess is saying, traditional road racing or track racing, whatever your experience is, it doesn't really matter. It's not going to translate to this at all. The racing line does not matter. Corner speed does not matter. All that really matters is that you drift as much as possible, even on the straightaways, to get as much boost as possible. So it's arcade for me to a level that I don't really appreciate. Like when this guy slams into the wall in front of me while I've been going perfect on the track and he's still dusting me. So to me, it's not a fun competition. It just doesn't feel... I just don't know what to do to win, and I guess that frustrates me, but it doesn't really feel like something that I can improve on. It feels like you just gotta either get lucky or know what you're doing, I guess. I can't really tell, because even there, I felt like I was doing great, and then I got absolutely murdered in the end and finished 5th. And then it's so close. I mean, first, 3:15.2. Second, 3:15.6. 3:15.8. 3:16.5. 3:16.6. I mean, and then from there on, it's a half second, 2 seconds, another half a second. Super, super close races, which is all great. And then there's also this, where this is sped up quite a bit. That was about a minute. And then it tried to load me in again, and then we failed. And then it started giving me things I already had. Like, of course, these are the OEM. This is just what comes with it. I already had this. It's just kind of glitching all over the place. It's not the most enjoyable for me. But I don't want that to take away from anything. Because realistically, the reason that I don't like that game mode is just because of my own personal preferences. So, moving on to probably my favorite new game mode, Lego Fortnite. This has been absolutely epic. Now, with Epic putting out 3 brand new game modes back to back to back on top of a brand new Battle Royale map, there's been a lot to explore. There's been a lot to do, a lot to play. And I think most of my time has really fell here. I think this is about a level 7 now. So I've put some work into it. Unfortunately, a lot of my time has just been spent figuring it out, but that's great though. I appreciate a game that is intuitive. You can spend time figuring things out and just working on it yourself rather than feeling the need to go to Google or something to find the answers, go back and forth from your game. It completely ruins the immersion. So obviously one of the biggest complaints that people have is that you're hungry all the time. And you are. I just have to straight up agree with this one. The only counter to it is that food is extremely abundant. On top of it being everywhere, you can assign your villagers to bring it to you. For example, that stack of 22 eggs you just saw, I didn't collect a single one of them. So it is very easy to get food, although it's really annoying to just know that you are going to have food in your hotbar pretty much at all times because you're going to need it pretty much at all times. And the next thing is that your tools wear out really quickly. And frankly, I just don't really agree with that. Here you can see I'm chopping down quite a bit of stuff. It's not a ton or anything, but the bar for my pickaxe really isn't moving that much. It didn't start full or anything like that, as you could probably tell. It was already reduced to, a quarter, about left, and it's really not moved that much. And then, of course, I'll do the same thing with the pickaxe, go to some stones, break them up. Granted, the pickaxe does seem to move a bit quicker, but even still, with the amount of resources that are needed to build any given thing, it doesn't feel that unreasonable to me. The amount that you collect, given the amount of resources needed to create the tool. So for me, that's just a non-issue, but I totally understand why people are upset about it. And going back just for a second about collecting food, right here you can see I'm going to collect fried eggs, corn on the cob, and grilled meat just from one of my villagers here. No work from me at all. We got at least 18, I think it said, corn on the cobs and 2 grilled meat, and then I didn't catch how many eggs it was. But all that is just, simple, straight from the villagers. And fortunately, that's going to be the last one. So I think that this whole Lego Fortnite ordeal is a work in progress, no doubt. There's lots more complaints that people have, but these are the ones that are going to be most prominent right off the bat. And I think realistically, if you work towards upgrading your crafting bench, upgrading your village, and working through it, a lot of these small nuisances really become a lot less noticeable. So I think there's going to be a lot of updates to come and a lot of changes, but in the meantime, people who say it's unplayable and things like that, I just don't agree. I think there's a lot to be done in the meantime, a lot to explore and a lot to learn. At the end of the day, Fortnite is a free game, and I think they've been doing a fantastic job with the resources that they have and been pumping out great content for us. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. What's been something you really enjoyed? What are your frustrations with the new updates? If you made it this far, you're one of the OGs. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.